Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our second talk for the Land of Shambhala Holistic Living series. Today's talk, we are discussing the Kalachakra Yoga practice and working specifically with the subtle body. So today we're very fortunate to have Tulku Lobsang Rinpoche and Khentrul Rinpoche come together and discuss the importance of working with our physical bodies, especially in the Kalachakra Yogas. Our two masters will discuss how working with the subtle body, including our chakras, channels, and drops, that we're able to influence and transform the subtle structures of our body and mind, which leads to enlightenment. I would firstly like to welcome and introduce Tulku Lobsang Rinpoche, who is the founder and head of Nangten Menlang International.
Wait, Pedro, you need to be on Portuguese.
And Tulku Lobsang began his monastic education at the age of 6, and at the age of 13 was recognized as the 8th reincarnation of Nyetse Lama. Tulku Lobsang was educated in various monasteries in Tibet and India, receiving instructions and teachings in philosophy, medicine, and astrology, along with various initiations and empowerments. Tulku La has also received instructions, empowerments, and initiations from 35 main teachers, including the Janang Kalachakra traditions, and has received general teachings in all 8 lineages, and he remains a practitioner of all 8 lineages. In 2002, Tulku La established a medical center in Nangten Menlang in Manali, which is now based in Vienna. And the School of Inner Medicine offers movement practice such as healing yoga, meditation, medicine, and subtle body practices, including breath work and Tummo practice. And Tulku Lobsang teaches Tibetan yoga practices worldwide and has appeared in National Geographic's Story of God with Morgan Freeman, where he demonstrated the Tummo practice. And also, I would like to introduce Khentrul Rinpoche, the founder and director of Tibetan Buddhist Rimé Institute and Dzogchen. Rinpoche studied in many monasteries under the guidance of over 25 masters in all the Tibetan Buddhist traditions. And due to his non-sectarian approach, he earned himself the title of Rimé Master, identified as the reincarnation of the famous Kalachakra master, Nawang Chosen Gyatso. Khentrul Rinpoche has authored over 20 books, and His Holiness has praised and endorsed his Rimé book, Path to Pure Vision, whilst Rinpoche values the diversity of all spiritual traditions found in the world, which he explores in his book, Ocean of Diversity. He focuses on the Janang Kalachakra lineage, which contains the only advanced and complete teachings of Kalachakra. And Dzogchen offers the most extensive Kalachakra program and practice materials in the world, which is available in 13 languages, presented in a clear step-by-step presentation of the Kalachakra path to enlightenment. And expanding on this extensive Kalachakra program, Dzogchen has purchased 40 acres of land in order to build a spiritual paradise for all types of people, to experience the life-changing qualities of the Kalachakra path. And as part of Rinpoche's vision, we bring together the teachings of Kalachakra, the sciences, and various wisdom traditions in the one place. So we hope that Land of Shambhala becomes a destination where people can come and practice the extensive Kalachakra path, leading to the golden age of peace and harmony. I will now hand over to Khentrul Rinpoche to begin our talk, and welcome Tulku Lobsang.
Hear me?
Yep.
Okay, so I welcome Tulku Lobsang. We're very honored to have today. We have the guest, and welcome everybody. And we have a great opportunity today to listen to Tulku Lobsang's teachings today, and I facilitate a little bit if it's needed. But before I very shortly introduce that what is Kalachakra really is. Kalachakra is traditionally known as king of the Tantra, and there's many ways to explain, but the most interesting for me and for many people, the Kalachakra is explained outer Kalachakra and inner Kalachakra and the enlightened Kalachakra. So when I say enlightened Kalachakra, I try to make sense to everybody, and traditionally say alternative Kalachakra or something like that. So what does means is traditionally means the external Kalachakra, they talk about cosmology and astrology, you know. But the reality, what I see is everything in this universe, other than ourselves, what appears for us is external Kalachakra. And then ourself, we have the same elements on our side. We have the same element as everybody have with us, with our body and mind. But what the difference is, we have a consciousness associated together. All these ones, as I identify, is inner Kalachakra. Traditionally say channels, inner movements, and the essence of the body. But more easy way to say all our body system and the mind system, which means include our thoughts, attitude, emotions, feelings, everything. And then alternative Kalachakra or the enlightened Kalachakra means traditionally talk about the Kalachakra mandala and the deities. Very extensive mandalas and deities, they talk about that. But in more simple way is the deepest truth, the most sacred truth of ourself. So, and then even more importantly, we have to know that external or universe is within ourselves. And that's why in traditionally the texts have everything, almost everything referring each other, which means the correlation. What is each of part of your body, each of your chakra channel, everything has correlation with outside the planets and stars. And then, so then each one, we can have a the correlation with the mandala, part of mandala, the deities, everything. So that's why it's incredible, extensive, but also very, very interesting for anybody, any background, non-believers, scientists, anybody. If they realize that, then it's very interesting for everybody, for science and everybody. So therefore, I choose this part to emphasize and dedicate on my life. However, so far, working on 20 years in the West, I more emphasize teachings, the doctrine, and the preliminary practices. So I haven't done huge emphasis of the yoga practices. Why? Because traditionally they somebody is incredibly advanced, the other stuff, everything, then they start the yoga path. So I am also stuck in that habit, basically. So I restrict, didn't to teach many people. And also myself, I'm too busy to be preparing the other things. So I haven't done so much at this yoga and physical practices. So today we are very fortunate have Tulku Lobsang, because he is the most revelational person. He break all these rules of this traditional, but he still is winner because the traditional people reward him. I was very, very surprised. So that's why. So now I decide, with the Tulku Lobsang's guidance, we can, we can emphasize on this subtle body and the yoga. That means not only who already done all preliminaries or the doctrines studied, not only them, but Tulku Lobsang found a way anybody can start anytime. This is wonderful. So that's why I invite the Tulku Lobsang. So I would very much appreciate. And so yeah, Tulku Lobsang talk about today. So my question, it's not really question, but it's first thing I say, Tulku Lobsang, can you talk us about what is the subtle body, and then how can we work with this, especially how to relate it to the Kalachakra Yogas, these things, please.
Oh, thank you very much, Khentrul Rinpoche. Yes, and well, I'm very, very, let's say, I'm very, very happy I have this opportunity to sharing of the Kalachakra, Kalachakra Yoga practice or Kalachakra Lujong practice and this subtle body, all these things. And yes, first of all, I want to say thank you very much. I have this opportunity, And secondly, I think maybe, yeah, my English is very much broken, and therefore,
Your English is better than
okay.
mine.
No. Some lamas need the translator to English, but maybe I don't need the translator to English, but very much broken. But I hope you understand. Thank you. I have
Yes,
this.
we will. We definitely will.
Okay.
Don't worry about that.
Yes. Let's say this way. In the out Kalachakra or inner Kalachakra and the secret Kalachakra, correct? And the out Kalachakra, essence of out Kalachakra and the sun and the moon, the will of the sun and the moon, and the essence of inner Kalachakra is the inner sun and the moon, is the red essence, white essence. The secret Kalachakra essence, the great emptiness and great, emptiness and the bliss union. That's it. But today we are especially talking this inner Kalachakra, you know. And they have an important thing to say is the, we say, in Kalachakra teachings, they say Sutrayana and Tantrayana. We say Sutrayana, mind vehicle, Tantrayana, body vehicle. That's what Tantra, what Kalachakra say, you know. I always very much like this. I'm always using during the teaching. This is the, I don't found this kind of conclusion, many other tantric teachings, but in the Kalachakra, very, very begin, the teaching there say, in the Kalachakra, sorry, the Sutrayana is a mind vehicle and Tantrayana is a body vehicle. You know, but that's not mean Tantrayana is not teaching about mind, but yes, it's a body vehicle. Because very interesting is our mind is look like our mind is to look like adult person. Our body is look like a small child, you know, which is more easy to train in. You know, adult person you need to train in is very difficult. You know, they have very strict mind, and you know, but to train in child is more easy. Therefore, our body is the teaching of body. Our body is look like a child. Our mind look like an adult person. That's why it's through our body, and you try to reach the hidden nature of a mind more quicker, more productive, or more quicker, more powerful. Yeah, and that's I think leader too, you know, and that's why is we say body yes, that's why it's the Tantrayana or Tantrayana Buddhisms, or especially also Kalachakra, we say this body vehicle. They use the body is the vehicle of the discovering our true nature. I mean, we have a different kind of body, you know, we have this gross body, we have a dream body, we have intimate state body. Okay, this physical body, what we have now is maybe not I say this way. However, yes, we have this, maybe I say this way better. We have this physical body is a pain body. We have a hidden body, what we call bliss body, you know, and this physical body is in this physical body or in this pain body is they have a hidden body, what we call bliss body. Now, what really mean hidden body is this channels and wind energy and then essence, you know. So the channels, we have maybe, I don't know, 72,000 different channels, or we have many channels, and we have 21,600 energies. Every day we are breath breathing in out, and then we have this essence, red essence, white essence, you know. Through our Lujong training or through our Lujong practice, we make functional this subtle body, you know. It's a very interesting thing I think in the Tantric or Kalachakra teachings, we say our bodies look like earth. Let's say our bodies look like earth, and our brain is look like ocean. Okay, our chakras is look like 7 lakes of earth, you know. Our channels is look like 72,000 rivers of earth, you know. Yeah, is our brain is the ocean of the bliss. Yeah, and then our throat chakra, let's say heart chakra, navel chakra, sexual chakra. Oh, we have more chakras. But this main important chakra, we say the legs. Yeah, and then we have 72,000 channels. We say rivers. But in the moment, our ocean, our ocean and lakes and what you call rivers is freeze. Yeah, freeze is not melted. Yeah, and more freeze, the ocean and lakes, rivers, we experience more pain body. Is we more experience pain body, our mind become more agitated or more active, you know. Therefore, through of, let's say, inner fire practice or through of inner yoga practice, you go to melting and this rivers and the lakes and the ocean, maybe you melt 100%, you know, then you have a bliss body, a bliss body, yes, bliss body, not a pain body. And this bliss body, once you discover this bliss body, you know, and then you discover this, what you call subtle mind, this bliss body we call subtle body, I think. And then once you discover this bliss body, and then you go to discover calm mind, you know, calm mind or non-conceptual state of mind, you know. I think that is the kind of a very special way to meditate, you know, very special kind of way to meditate. First, you try to discover bliss body. Once you discover bliss body, you don't need to really meditate. Mind naturally go calm herself. And then when you have this calm and the mind, you know, this most, yeah, something look like this. Maybe, yeah, what you want to say anything? That's what I thought, you know, and that's what, yeah.
Yeah, very nice way phrase, you know, like is you know, like if the rivers and lakes and the ocean, everything unpolluted and then goes well, then the earth produces, you know, the planet, plants and everything, and, you know, healthy. Everybody knows that. So, you know, if we possess that the rivers and, you know, and the ocean, and then of course everything affects us. So yeah, it is very nice way to phrase, you know, like yeah, is the problem usually the problem is people that don't know the relationship between the gross level of body and then subtle level, and even the most subtle level. We can even say the quantum field level, you know, and all these things have a relationship. When we don't know what the relationship is, and then of course we have trouble, you know. So that's why is the Tulku Lobsang phrase very nice way. So it's yeah, I agree 100%. You know, like yeah, it's so. So tell me more about you know, like the more I think you teach the more you practice Dharma very well, and even we just look at you and you know how handsome you, how you know, like it's not just handsome, but it's so is energetic and you know, like vibrant, how you call is you know, like you practice very well, not just talking about. So that's why we want to know a little bit about, you know, like how about the Dhammo, what it means to you, and how do you practice. And maybe you can't tell everything, your personal practice, but yeah, as much as you can tell us.
Thank you very much, Rinpoche. I just want to say something. Remember, very beginning, I say, I think this is very important. There's in Kalachakra teaching, there's the the mind sutra we call mind vehicle, and the body is the tantra we call body vehicle. This is very important we keep in our mind, because I told that is our mind is look like adult person, you know, very, very educated, complete adult person. Is a body is look like just pure child, you know.
Yes, yes. Whatever mind says, body do that.
Correct, yeah.
So the adult, whatever say, the child have to do that, you know. So yes. Yeah, it's also this very nice phrase, yeah.
Yes, that means, you know, is the, I mean, is train mind is more complicated.
Yes, of course. Adults have so many fixations and so many, you know, rigidation. So and children is more like a blunt paper. You can draw anything, right?
Yes, yes.
Similarly, if you train the body, it seems good, which means you know, you have to tell us, and we have to learn more. I mean, we know on the text, we know there, but it just we haven't done practice as much as you done, you know, like so that's why you are the model, our model, you know, like inspirational model, everybody. So then, yeah, that's why you are here.
Yeah, I mean, because something look like this in mind have a so strong personality. Is, you know, is especially in our, I mean, in the modern world, in let's say in the, I know it's the Western world, we are more mind culture, you know, everything built around mind, learning, you know. But in Asia, let's say generally I'm saying we are in more body, you know, we are more body in the more child culture. It's a little chaotic, you know. And but in the West we have more this mind culture, and therefore especially what I discover when I come in the West, you know, in especially our Buddhist mental part teaching, they're already so much in the mind, and you go to teach in the all this mental part, this makes sense, it's great, very good, but they have a challenge, you know. And therefore what I want to say, minds look like adult person and the body look like a child, and how you bring this together, you know, how you bring this together. I'm always used to say, I'm always used to, when you sleep is the moment of the body control your mind, you know, is the mind need to follow body, correct? That's how nature function. When you wake and then mind more active, body need to support. But sometimes that's not happening in our modern world. The body and the mind is just working opposite to me. Example, your body want to sleep, but your mind don't want it, you know. Body really want to sleep, that's her job, correct? That's her job. Body say, I need to sleep, and your mind, so much interesting thing happening is you don't want it, correct? Then early morning, maybe, you know, your mind want to wake up, but your body not, you know, and therefore your body and the mind is a fighting, just so much fighting. And then we have this kind of new illnesses in this modern world, you know, the stress, burnout, depression, loneliness, lost, all this kind of problems coming, you know. Therefore it's so important, especially in our modern world, to do example physical exercises, you know. I'm used to make a joke, Rinpoche. I used to say, sometimes I used to say, example, early morning, you know, let's say I'm saying this way, I'm used to making joke, you know, is sometimes body and mind discuss each other, you know, and let's say I'm used to say is when I'm jogging in morning, let's say first before I want to jog in, but then my mind little complain, you know, that's too tiring, too difficult, this and that. But then I start to jogging 45 minutes, you know, and then I'm started jogging. Each moment my mind come less and less and less and less, and the more body, you know, more body. You are more in the body, you're more present the moment. And then some moment you're so much alike, you know, after 45 minutes you're jogging, you start, is this really true? You know, you start to like, and then you come back home and you sit, your mind is, I mean, this gross mind, this complaining mind is not there. And just you and the body there, you feel so peaceful. You feel so nice, isn't it? But then after maybe half hour, then mind come back again, look like oracle, you know, you come back, I'm sure. Yeah, therefore it's so important, this physical exercises, I think everybody, but especially in the people who have modern life, you know, who always stay in the chair, who always in the phone, or who always in the computer, who not walk so much out, is very, very important, I think.
Yeah, Tantric said, you know, the sutra is mind vehicle, and the tantra is the body vehicle. So that means, of course, Tantric said, you know, that the tantra have no, doesn't mean no mind use. Of course, use. Tantra uses everything, and the mind and the emotion, the feeling, everything. You know, like so the Sutrayana way, the mind and the emotions, you have to be selective. Some of them is the good guys, some is the bad ones. You have to fight. But in Tantrayana is everything. That's why is Tantra. You know, Tantra. That's why everything turns apart. So that's why is yeah, it's perfectly makes sense. So. Yeah, can you tell us a little bit more about Thammo, and then maybe other aspects, and then, you know, how other people telling you the benefits, you know, like these things.
Okay, first I like to say one thing, which is I think because of how you say it's make the you know, it's the gross mind. We have this gross mind. It's a gross mind. He has so strong personality. You know, her personality is a builded, it's just beginless. And you want to go to change he, I'm not saying no possible, but is tough. You need so much energy. You need so much time. And mostly people maybe give up. Some practitioner, you know, but with tantric practice, with the subtle body practice, all of this gross mind is make it dissolve. The gross mind got to dissolve. I mean, sorry, maybe I say with the tantric practice, you build with tantric practice, you discovering bliss body. Let's say bliss body. And once you discover bliss body and the gross thought and is dissolved in subtle, okay, it's the subtle mind, okay, subtle mind, you know. And then you use the subtle mind is the vehicle of the discovering, let's say, Buddhahood or Buddha nature. Then you have the highest of the highest speed, you know. That is, I think, tantric, tantric special. And I very much like to practice, let's say, this, what you say, Thammo, all these things, you know. Because of we believe we have the 72,000, maybe I say this way, first, maybe which I need to say this way. we have a body and we have many chakras, but a few more important chakra: crown chakra, throat chakra, heart chakra, navel chakra. And therefore we have 4 important locations we call 4 kingdoms. Our minds look like a king, you know. He have 4 seasons, you know. I think it's the past kings. He have 4 palaces. Each season he moving. Therefore, in our body is look 4 chakras, 4 kingdoms of. Therefore, our mind is look like king, and therefore, when we are awake in the tradition of a Kalachakra, 1 minute, yes, it's tradition of a Kalachakra. When we are awake, is our mind and energy is crown chakra, tradition of Kalachakra. And when we are dreaming, our energy and the mind is the throat chakra. When we are asleep, and the mind and energy more in the heart chakra. And then when we are sex, therefore we have 4 nature important moments. Is in Kalachakra tradition is the energy and the mind, the sexual chakra. But other tantra is a little different. Is example Kalachakra say the one we awake is the energy is what say in the crown chakra, and the other tantras or Vajrayana or other tantras, and when we wake, energy is what say in our sexual chakra or navel chakra. Sorry. Therefore, we have these 4 locations. The channel is the 4 location. Each different moment, our energy more there. Where have more energy, they have more mind. Where we have more energy, where they have more mind. Therefore, when we are awake, is it correct? Yes. When we are awake, in our energy more in the crown chakra. We have more energy. I mean, energy everywhere, clear. Therefore, mind is everywhere. But they have a special moment. They have more energy. One part of body. Example, when we wake is the energy more crown chakra. Therefore, mind more there. And the one we are dreaming, energy more is our throat chakra. Therefore, mind more there. When we are asleep, our energy more. I'm sure it's energy everywhere still, but more in the heart chakra. Therefore, mind is more there. When we are sex, is the energy more is navel chakra, and our mind is more there. There we call 4 location. Is a very, very important 4 location. This is a location or door of a mandala, or it's a secret door of the bliss body. Let's say something look like this. And therefore, to open this doors, I mean, yeah. What I want to say, yes, it's therefore in these 4 locations we have, and therefore depend what kind of practice you do, and some practice that focus more. But in the example Kalachakra, I think which is you need to make me correction, because I'm doing the practice part many times, but I forget many things. Is Kalachakra is the 6 yogas of Kalachakra. The first 2 yogas is mainly focused in the forehead chakra or crown chakra, you know, therefore head chakra. And the second yogas and the number 5 yogas is more focused navel chakra. And then is number 4, I think, third yoga. I need to give numbers, you know. Third yoga and the 5th yogas is more focused navel chakra. I think in the 6 yogas is the more 5th yogas is more sexual chakra, and the 6th yogas all chakra and heart chakra, you know. To conclusion. However, we call mother channel, correct? Mother channel, the famous mother channel is Tibetan medicine. What means is really is artery, the pause. Yeah, therefore, pause is until we have 72,000 breath, breathe in, out. We have a heartbeat. We have out breath, inner breath. Out breath, what we breathe in, out. Inner breath, our heartbeat. Until we have a breathe in, out, until we have a heartbeat, until we don't discover in subtle mind. Beyond breath, beyond heartbeat, and then you discover the subtle wind. Because the heartbeat, breath, is the gross wind. To go beyond that, you need a great bliss, because more bliss, the breath reducing, some moment heartbeat reducing, and you go beyond that, then you discover we call subtle energy. In this subtle energy, they have one subtle consciousness, subtle energy, and thus, you know, they don't have the strong, they don't have the strong character, you know, however you want to use, it look like gold, is a soft, you know, just how you want it. But this body, this mind, so much limitation, you know, it's so much limitation, you know, just some moment you want to give up, you know, just give up. You know, I mean, I'm just joking sometimes. You want to make six-pack, you know, six-pack, how much you need energy you know, every day or at least 1 week, 3 times you go 2 hours, is training. I don't know, 6-year training, you have six-pack. And then you just stop training 1 month, a six-pack become 1 pack, you know, it's kind of, it's not fair, you know, it's not so fair. You know, you just, you need, it's required more training. It's look like a modern world, you know. It's just you not interesting, you know, some moment. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. Please, Rinpoche, yes.
Yes, you know, I think everybody have to realize the most important that Tantrayana is everything turns your path. So that's why it's not, you don't have to fight with anything. That's why you saying, you know, like, oh, training, again training, oh, no more training, okay. That kind of fighting, right? That kind of fighting. So that's why it's difficult, too much, you know. But it's, if you know how everything is your path or existence, you know, like existence in the world, existence within yourself, everything you know is it part. You can use it as part, you know. That's what I personally see. That is the really the Tantrayana unique, you know. But yeah, not many people talk about that, you know, some reason. Yeah, so I maybe lost in some academic or I don't know. So yeah, what I mean is, you know, it's not many people bring Tantrayana in practical level, you know, like that's why it's there not many people talk about it, but it's not bring in practical level. So then is Tulku Lobsang, you bring in practical level, you know. So that's why you have to tell some inspirations for us, you know, how your students react, you know, what they say, what they change their lives, you know. I mean, even little practice, not huge practice, just even a little practice. I heard many, I kind of heard many of your students. So yeah, even my students, when we practice retreat or something, they do they say it's okay, we do this Tulku Lobsang practice in betweens. Traditionally say no, once I say yes, no problem, you know. I let them do because there is benefits. So if you can tell us a little more, even nicer, yeah, is different aspects, whatever way of you like talk more. How long we have time? We have plenty of time, or?
We have at least 15-20 more minutes before Q&A.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, Rinpoche. Then maybe I just saying in the, especially in the directly in the Kalachakra. In Kalachakra is the amazing thing. I mean, that's color. I mean, let's say this way. Okay, is the in Kalachakra, they have many different exercises, you know. Is the example they have Tsatu Yanla Ngabjong or Yanla Ngabjong or Tsatu Chimo is Tibetan language. Is this I'm used to call the sixth or A9 in the secret of Kalachakra exercises. That's what people do. The first part of Kalachakra, they make the self-massage, you know. It's nearly all Tibetan yogas, they have the self-massage, you know, different names give, but the purpose of doing that is a gross wind and the gross channels, you know, to tensions reducing, you know. You make the massage and you make, you know, it's self-massage, you massage yourself together with movement. And then you go to min exercise, you know, they have the nine min exercise, very, very powerful. And then after the Kalachakra, after 9, the exercise, we have the 20 different exercises we have in this 20 different exercises we have. And after this, we have this 20 exercise, I think Kalachakra call rude exercises. And then we have a 24 exercise, and this name we call Kalachakra branch exercises called. And then we have 14 different exercises, and this name what we call Kalachakra power exercise. Is you need to be really strong, you need to be very, very flexible, but always beginners, you need to exercise look like a king. King means you do slowly and soft, because otherwise you go to break channels, you know. And yeah. Yes, and that's what we do this, and that's more connected in the channels and the wind, training of a channel. This exercise more training of wind and the channels. And then we have after another 20 exercise, this is more connect essence, you know. Is totally, they have 100 some exercise in Kalachakra Lujong exercise. Maybe it's mostly other Tantra teachings also have exercise, Lujong exercise, but Kalachakra maybe have nearly most have. Yeah. And
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, great. Yes, that's why, you know, like traditionally, you practice all preliminaries, and then you practice two the advanced practices. One is generation, one is the 3 oscillations, and then after that enter the third yoga, enter then mostly mind and body postures, but not really yogas. But I think this traditionally, I got this feeling, you need more prepare before that. So that's why I appreciate very much like Tulku Lobsang. He found a way, you know, like earlier, more gentle was first, right? And then more harder, you can do it. But traditionally do suddenly, it's not totally suddenly, of course, that you said first the 5 ones and then this little bit gentle, but and yeah, it's quite a short time, you know, within 1 year, so it's just not very long. So I mean, the program there are 2 years, but it's the length is if you look at it, just like 1 year, so it's too much, you know, like too much. So yeah, the traditional way, then everything 100% secret, you cannot, nobody can see, is everything is just a little bit too much.
Yes.
You know, we learned by experience, so that's why is really. So yeah, we have that. We have aspiration, you know, to introduce the preparations earlier, and then when at the same time we study, practice, and preliminaries and everything. So then when you're ready, you are really ready, you know. So that's I hope achieving. So that's why you are as one of our inspiration. Yeah. So thank you so much. And now I think Tulku Lobsang, whatever you would like to say to the audience, and then maybe after that, maybe the audience have question. So the question mainly should be Tulku Lobsang, especially this body, all these things, definitely Tulku. So if there's something have to be me, and then you just addressed this question, Khentrul Rinpoche, or this one. If you say it, I think easier. That mostly should be Tulku Lobsang. Would you like to say a few things, something we didn't cover?
Yes. Yes, I think what I wanted to say is first of all, I think I'm always saying this, Rinpoche, really, I mean, is sometimes our traditional teachers, we are too much respect our teachings, great. Yes, that is important, but we are too much respect our teachings, we're too less compassion our students, you know. I mean, that is a problem. Problem means yes, but something look like some Western teachers is maybe I'm wrong, maybe there's so much compassion on their student, but they're too less respect in teaching, and they have some tensions teaching and the student. Therefore, I think I'm always thinking, you know, truth is not important, help is more important. Therefore, what in this trend, especially in the Buddha also say this degenerate term in the Tantra, especially Mother Tantras, is more suitable in the people's life practice, you know, because why? I mean, number one is because we don't have so much time, you know, our life is so busy. Therefore, I think we need to give some kind of practice, I think, not too much condition. Okay, you need some conditions, but it's not too much conditions. Otherwise, people just, you know, already they're stressed out. I think that's what I see very important. Yeah, therefore, I see many Western practitioners. Westerns, they like very much practice. They're really good practitioner, let's say, you know, generally, is you really give, at least they try. Least to try. I don't know how long they try, but least to try. And therefore, I'm very much motivated to give this practices. And I like myself all these physical things, you know. Therefore, I'm very much like doing all these things, to more all these things. Therefore, I want my conclusion, we need to respect teaching, but we need compassion student.
Yeah.
Means we need adapted according to them. I really think so. I'm not really joking. I really think so.
Oh, yes, yes. Yeah, the traditional teachers, definitely they have great compassion, but they, you know, they don't see the many cultures. They don't see the whole world enough. That's why is you know, they're very restricted. You know, they always refer the text, but also text, ancient text only. If it's a modern, somebody say modern, and then they don't respect. You know, only have to be is the long time ago practitioner or scholar. You know, so that's why it's Tulku Lobsang is completely right. You know, like we have to think many angles, not just one angle. You know, is yeah, definitely they have compassion because they're meant to be bodhisattvas. Then yes, compassion, but it's I don't know, it's like that. So especially I want to say this because the Kalachakra, the Tantras, some of Tantras, they emphasize more anger as a part, emphasize. Some of them like more the desire. So then is the Kalachakra is looks like much more desire emphasize part. So therefore, I think is this modern time not just to prophesize Buddha, the Kalachakra. Within Kalachakra, we have the golden age and the future, you know. But not only to prophesize, but it's logically it makes sense to me, you know. So it's the modern time, not too many angers and fights as ancient time, and we also not value so much the anger as in the past, but is so much desire everybody, you know. And especially that the Western is how to say, more like appreciate desire culture, you know. So that's why I think that's why the Kalachakra is, in my point of view, is really is modern practice. But also we have to remember Buddha prophesies, or other religions say, oh, we become worse and worse. Kali Yuga, but Kalachakra only say, no, we're going to have golden age, you know. So that's why is for me is really inspirational. So that's why. So I always looking for somebody defeat my points, but I haven't found anybody yet. So that's why, So that's why I so much appreciate you done, you know, this or. This posture, everything, even the drawing, and you put into the book, and you know you brave enough to practice this one, you know, like. So that's why I see as like a warrior, you know, compassionate warrior. So that's why no, usually the traditional ones very criticist, you know, you know that, but now they didn't say much, so that means you know, okay, everything's all right.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so is it time to Q&A time?
Yes, thank you very much, Tulku Lobsang and Khentrul Rinpoche. If anyone has any questions, can you please pop them in the Q&A section in Zoom? We do have a few to start with as well. So Tulku La, can you please explain a good practice for people who have work and family that they can do every day? A lot of commitments, but can you recommend something that they can do?
Yes. I think what I like to say, the cycle of the sun and the moon, each 24, let's say each 24 hours, we have a cycle of the birth and death. You know, each 24 hours, we have a cycle of birth and death. And then we have each life, we have the cycle of a birth and death, you know, how you sleep exactly same, how you die, how you dream exactly same after death, intimate state, how you wake up exactly same, how you birth. Therefore, you know, the cycle of the life, birth and death, is you experience in 24 hours, one day. Therefore, I'm always people believe practice of the one day is the practice of your life. You know, today is you don't have time to practice. I don't believe you have time to practice of life. I don't believe life is bigger than one day. You know, I'm used to say, yesterday is dead. I'm sorry, you're too late. Tomorrow is not yet born. I'm sorry, you're too early. Today is the only what you have, you know, and therefore every morning is 21 minutes. Yeah, 21 minutes, you know, is possible. I believe possible. This should be possible. is you wanted, 21 minutes, 10 minutes is you do Lujong exercise, any Lujong, 10 minutes, it's just some form of exercise or any exercise, okay, you like. And then 10 minutes you make meditation, just meditation, simple meditation. And then 1 minute you need to do something, therefore I say body, mind, life. Therefore body you give 10 minutes, mind you give 10 minutes, 1 minute's life. That's all. This 21 minutes practice, enough good, enough good, you have a better day, or when you have better day, you have a better life. Therefore, 10 minutes you do some exercise, Lujong or yoga or whatever you like. And then 10 minutes you do meditation, and then 1 minute you say this way yourself, you say this way, I go to, I give my best in this world. Really, in the bottom of your heart, you just verbally say, I go to give best in this world. But after whatever come, I go fully accepted. That's enough. That's enough, You say, I go to give my best in this world without expectation. And after whatever come, good or bad, I got fully accepted without fear. And then I think that's enough good to practice, Is 21 minutes too much? Bring 11 minutes. Yeah.
Thank you. We have someone who has a practitioner of Hatha Yoga and is a Dharma student and is looking for, I guess, would like to join Buddhist teachings and is looking for an effective body practice to help them on the path. So would you recommend anything?
Can they use their Hatha Yoga, or do they need to change to a Tibetan yoga, or?
Question for him?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think is first of all what I want to say. I don't think they need to I think all kind of yogas, I'm sure is good, or Hatha yoga or any yogas is great, I'm sure. But is he or she have any chance or any possibilities to practice some of the Buddhist yogas is maybe very, very good, But it's possible. Example, you practice Kalachakra, is Kalachakra Yogas have. You practice 6 yogas of Naropa, they have Naropa exercise. You want He Vajra, they have a He Vajra exercise. You have thousands of exercises, have different lineages. Every Tibetan lineages have exercise, Every tantric practice is you wanted. Therefore, is you have a chance, you join there is very good, but I think still maybe beneficial to keeping your, the Hatha yoga, I think very much beneficial, yeah. But maybe Rinpoche, you want to say anything to hear something?
Oh no. I would say definitely, yeah. What you said, you don't need to change. You don't need to give up your, the Hatha yoga or anything. You don't need to give up anything. But you, as you said exactly, you can experiment something Buddhist, practice, mind training. Or the body training, whatever, is worth to do some experiment. And sometimes philosophically, you challenging, whatever you believe, sometimes challenge ourselves is good. I would say that.
Thank you. Tulku, there are yoga teachings and practices available in Europe and the United States, like somatic methods or yantra yoga and the Ati yoga. How can these be approached for integration with Kalachakra and Ngondro? And maybe what aspects should people be cautious about of the systems and teachings so they don't get confused or mixed up?
With the lineages, because Namkhai Norbu taught the yantra yogas, so I think they're asking how to bring them together, or is that a problem?
I think they don't have one general advice, you know. I think, you know, but my view is that, I mean, you are Yantara yoga practitioner is very, very good. You know, you continue practice this, and then you go to in your Ngondro practice, you know, it's no problem. Example, some traditions, all this Lujong exercise, they do very, very beginning, you know, first, and some tradition are doing the practice, some tradition are doing after practice. Therefore, the exercise, the Lujong exercises, you possible put any place, you possible doing your Dharma practice or not doing the Dharma practice, anytime is possible. Therefore, I don't have really, really precise to say something, but I don't think is a problem, you know. You like, example, yoga, let's say the Yantara yoga practice, and you do continue your Ngondro, is no problem. And then maybe after finish your Ngondro, Kalachakra Ngondro finish, then maybe you are some moment arrive to also Kalachakra Lujong exercise, you know. I don't think a problem, but I think it's the best you ask your master Lama in this moment of your practice, you know. Every individual maybe different guidance have. That is a tantric quality, you know. Is adapted every people, you know. Different people have a different possibility, different condition. Therefore, maybe master give a different guidance. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Rinpoche, what do you think? Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't questioned wasn't very well what Chloe said, the question.
So the person is asking about different practices and different, how do they integrate that into the Kalachakra path without getting confused or mixed, and how does that all work together?
They have a yoga practice from a Nyingma lineage. I think it's, Nyingma from Namkhai Norbu.
Yeah.
And they want to practice their Kalachakra Ngondro, and they're just wondering, is there a way that they can bring these yogas, these yantra yogas from Namkhai Norbu in, or how do they practice these techniques from different lineages without getting confused?
I think the main problem is people worry too much. You don't need to worry anything, you know, like you naturally what falls without any worrying. You just naturally falls, you know. Oh, I try this, okay, together this, or I don't need this one, or I do this, whatever, you naturally falls. What you see is benefit with your experience. You just follow that. You don't have to any other worry. That's what I would say.
Perfect, Saint Rinpoche. That's very nice. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Tulku, what if somebody has physical limitations like a spinal disorder or something? What would you recommend as a physical practice for them?
I mean, it's usually is what I want to say. It's also our this Kalachakra traditions, also other traditions, people who have physical limitations, also because of age, because of health, they are allowed adapted, you know, many adapters give. Therefore, I think is generally is important to you listen your body. You listen your body is you know some exercise, you just listen your body, you feel good, it's okay, you continue practice, you feel no good, you just stop. And therefore I'm not possible giving one answer here, but example also I used to teach this Lujong. We have 23 or 21 exercise have usually already adapted to somehow everybody possible do, but still some people who have physical conditions is difficulty, and then they need to go to teacher, and they spend time with the teacher, and the teacher you talk and discuss, and then what kind of exercise you possible do, how to do. I think you need, if you have a special physical condition, you need individual guidance with the teacher to what kind of exercise you possible do, what not,
Thank you. This one is for you, Khentrul Rinpoche. If somebody is doing the preliminary practices with you, the Ngondro practices, would you encourage students to practice the yogas at this point, or at what point would you encourage them to practice yogas?
Yes, I encourage you practice yoga, and any type of yoga you want to practice, no problem. Anybody teach you, but I'm not going to teach you whole yogas. My plan is gradual yogas teach, and then people need prepare. That's already in my mind is we should adapt, not stick with the tradition 100%. Is 30 years my observation. Like it seems not benefit in that much strict, but still I think we don't need everything teach. So then I think anybody can practice, even in Ngondro, they can practice simple yogas. I think no problem. But it's not only individually, but in the world, everybody practice yoga. Some people have almost zero spiritual, still they practice in physical yoga. So it's no point to hide everything. And it's just so many years past, we don't see the benefits of the hide. So that's why I appreciate that Tulku Lobsang. So yeah, so I would say everything go together naturally falls. I think many times, many questions, not only just today, but always people have too much restrictions and too much brand washes. Like, oh, this you can't, this you can't, or you do this, then it's big bad consequences. These things, I think we need a little bit relax, We need a little bit relax and always follow what naturally falls into, What your experience, you put number one. And the instructions good, but if the experience contradicts the instructions, you can follow your experience. That's why I'm saying it's important to just follow whatever naturally falls.
Thank you. Tulku, if the bliss body is beyond or inside the gross body, how can one bring bliss or the subtle body together with the gross body? How does that happen?
Okay. I mean, I'm use always some simple words, but it's very difficult. It's kind of a complicated subject, but maybe I don't give a little direct answer. I make some kind of a little explanation here. I think, remember in the our body, according to Tantric teachings, is our body experience bliss, our mind experience happiness, you know. And the happiness is our mind experience happiness. And when your mind feel good, this name we call happiness. What your body feel good, this name we call bliss. To be happy, you need a reason. We are normal person, look like you and me, we are normal people. To be happy mind, in this mind, I'm not talking subtle body, subtle mind, but this mind and this mind, to be happy need a reason. Reason why? Nobody have, I have, or nobody win, I lose. You know, it's example, I'm used to making joke, many Europeans or many Westerns going to mountain areas, you know, Nepal, top of mountain areas, not because of bliss, because of happiness. They go to, you know, not because of body, because of mind, you know, especially old people, little old men, they're going, you know, sometimes Sherpas need to carry there and up, you know, and they go top of Mountain Everest and they're crying, they're happy. This name we call happy, you know. Why you happy in the top of Mount Everest? Because nobody wanted in my village or in my town, me wanted there, you know. This kind of way. Therefore, sometimes in the modern world, we don't find the reason to happy. We don't find the reason to happy. Therefore, we need to create a reason to happy. And this name, most people say, I need a hobby, I need a challenge, my life is boring, I know, because hobby and challenge give you some kind of a fake reason to be happy. And therefore, some people extreme challenges go top of Mountain Everest or whatever, you know, they go to in the Norway, some rich people, and they go Norway and they stand the whole day in the river, catch one fish, you know, 10,000 euro give to do that, and they catch a fish, and then they make a picture, you know, the biggest fish ever caught in the man in this river, you know. This kind of happiness is so poor, you know. I mean, it's okay. Or some people go Africa to hunt an elephant, you know, give 100,000 euro. Many Western rich people doing that, you know, is a silently. I mean, they don't know how to be happy. They don't find the reason to happy. Breakfast is okay, it's good, but not enough to be happy. I have a good car, not enough. I have a nice family, that's not enough. Nothing special, nothing special. I need to do something so special. Nobody did it, to kill elephant. Okay, something look like this. This kind of crazy things happening. Okay. That's how we are so poor in the modern world, the happiness, you know. Therefore, I always say people don't searching reason to be happy. Please give reason to be happy. Therefore, every morning I just give a reason to happy my breakfast, you know. My breakfast, I possibly eat my breakfast, you know. I just give simple reason to be happy. I think this make your happiness more richer and the richer and the richer. One thing. Secondly, is a bliss. What we're talking in the body, what you're questioning, the bliss, you know. To feel bliss in the body, you don't need a really reason, but you need a small condition. Example, piece of a chocolate put in your mouth, piece of a chocolate and you put the mouth, you feel bliss, correct? You win lottery, you be happy, put chocolate in the mouth, you feel bliss. And you feel this kind of conditional bliss, correct? Conditional bliss. But with the more practice, this conditional bliss we increase, you know, increase. What we feel bliss? Nothing, so little. You know, with the more practice, your body is come look like a warm chocolate. It's a warm chocolate, you know. It's look like the happiness of the all of the world once you experience in your body. You feel so bliss. I mean, this is still conditional bliss, okay? Somebody put the needles in your body, you don't feel pain. It should be you feel bliss, but this is still conditional bliss, correct? But through of this bliss, you possible discovering the true nature of mind, and this name we call peace. Therefore, I'm always say people three things, you know, happiness, bliss in the body, happiness in mind, peace is the nature of mind. Therefore, we are looking something beyond the bliss of the body, beyond happiness of mind, what I call the peace. In this peace, this is, I mean, this peace, or sometimes people give name also great bliss. I'm sorry to all different kind of name using, maybe a little confused, but therefore, what I want to say, bliss, happiness, and what say, peace. Bliss, animals also have. Dogs have, cows have, they have bliss, they have pain, they have bliss, they have pain. Happiness, suffering is not so much have, I'm sure leaders have dogs or animals, but not so much. Happiness, suffering more in the mind, more human thing, you know. Therefore, we want to go beyond chocolate. We want to go beyond winning lottery, you know. Chocolate put in the mouth is good, but how many hours you pass by eat the chocolate, you know. But some moment you don't want it, you know. How possible win lottery? Maybe you win lottery every day. I don't think this make you happy. Anyway, it's not possible, but it's not, you know, something beyond that. And that's name what we call peace. And this, to be discovering this peace, is the meditation is the only path discovering of this peace. And Tomo is the one kind of form of to meditate, to discovering this peace. I know, I'm sorry to whoever this asked, I didn't give a direct answer because then it's strange. Therefore, I give some explanation. I hope okay.
Thank you very much. Tukula, is it okay to, when you're doing physical practices or exercise, to be reciting sadhanas or mantras at the same time? What is your opinion or thoughts on this?
In example, especially in the some traditional, like some traditional exercises, example, some especially in Dipakaja traditions, one they make the salon exercise, they make refuge prayer, compassion prayer, they do together doing the self-massage, you know, doing the self-massage. But in the doing the really main exercise, we are not chanting the mantras or things, because you need to hold the breath, you know, and you need to hold the breath, you need to higher concentrations. You know, but every tantric teachings, we always say we have three things. What say, body posture is this body posture we call yoga of the turtle. Yeah, body posture is yoga of the turtle. You know, turtle seems to have best yoga body posture. You know, he possible relax, but at the same time he don't lose body posture. Therefore, I never see turtle who hanging head down, you know, when he relax. Maybe, and then we have this we say yoga of the marmot. Is marmot means the marmots, I think in Austria, in Tibet, one winter time they sleep underground, they're not breathing out, you know, complete relax them, you know. And therefore we have yoga of the body posture, yoga of the holding the breath, and then yoga of visualization, or, you know, this three is the most important. But in many teachings we say, is yoga of body postures or yoga of body postures, holding the breath is too much disturb of your visualization, and the better you not to do, you know. But exactly what Rinpoche say, I'm very much like, I learned something very nice, you know, is to do, to follow how naturally you feel good, you know. Yeah.
Tulku Lobsang, one person asked also if they can do mantras while jogging, because you mentioned jogging. So what about that?
I'm sure everything free, you know, everything you possible do how you want it, but in the coding our this it's a horse reading, or we call Ngondro. They have one samaya, let's say samaya is not to talk during jogging. Yes, that means also not doing the jogging, not to chanting mantras, you know. And therefore, I think this cut your breath rhythms, you know. Your breath is not flowing how you need it. And therefore, is this wrong time? Yes, mantra chanting is good, but everything need right time. Is a wrong time, is a right thing, you do wrong time is not a benefit. Therefore, doing the jogging, you chanting mantra, I think not so good. I know some of Western have this theory, and I know some people jogging, they're talking, you know, it's little, very small jogging, you know. I don't know, jogging or walking, just you don't know. And they're talking. Then I ask why you're doing that. So they say, yeah, because sometimes people forget that, you know, they're too long jogging, their heartbeat to stop, and therefore they need to talk each other. Oh, I don't know. But okay, they all have some explanations. But I think usually, no, it's focus your breath and just your eyes look in the space, make empty mind, you know, soft, you just breath, try to keep flow how much you can. And then you make this Vajra feast and you little open your arm piece because this is better your heart. And then first step you make in 21 steps, you give full power. And then you go to slowly, 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 slowly. And then you want a little more faster and faster. Is very good. Jogging is one of the bestest, Dharma practice. Is the easiest and the best, because in Tantric Buddhism we believe our under the feet we have the chakra of the karmic wind chakra, you know, karmic wind chakras. Therefore, you jogging, each time you hit your feet in the ground, the karmic wind, you destroy it, or release this tension, and then karmic wind to transform, then all other winds, you know, change it. Wind change is the mind change and the body change. Therefore, is the jogging is the best way to purification or best way to merits. And therefore, according to Tantric teachings, is the Lujong is the best. I mean, there are many ways to merit, generosity, to building house, it's all great, but it's the to doing Lujong exercise or jogging these things. In the Tibetan, I mean, Tibetans, we also have this what Gora we call it, the temples, stupas, mountains, rivers, you know, and yeah, that is very good. Also, we have this prostrations, is a very famous exercise, but yeah. Rinpoche, what you like something to say there?
No. I just want to say, you know, like the mantra, everything what you said is correct. You know, if you are the best want to do best level, then yeah, you focus 100% that, nothing else. You know, so that's why sometimes people listening Dharma, they're doing mantras and they're like these things. You know, they're meant to be not doing. You know, because you're not fully focused. But it's also, you definitely agree with me. If somebody joking and mantra saying is nothing wrong, it's not like going to train very bad karma. It's not like that, but just not the best way, right?
Exactly. Not the best moment, let's say this.
Yeah. Everything, yeah, best, you are focused best. Yes. Concentrate, whatever the single point, what are you doing is the best always, right?
Yes, that's true. I mean, I'm very much like jogging. I'm making joke. People, I'm used to jogging, you know, I'm making joke, you know, people who make this, what you call golf, you know, is a golf means then they're a little more old, you know, is they make golf is their little sign of orf. This sign of is wise but old, you know. I'm always say we are making jogging, and not true, but also a sign of little old, because other physical exercise, you need more energy. But in the jogging, you don't need much energies. But I like jogging mountain up and down. I'm so much like, it's crazy, I like the jogging. I'm here every day, I'm making jogging. Sometimes I possible do 2 times, but I like very, very much, It's a very, when you look, it's not so nice, it's not so holy, let's say. It's not something so special, but experience is amazing. It's very, very good. I think that is a best Dharma practice, many people,
Yeah.
Thank you very much. We have one last question for both of you. As we're out of time, so thank you everyone for your questions, but we will ask one last one. Tulku Rinpoche, how do we bring awareness to the dream state, and how does one practice lucidly or practice dream yoga?
Okay, Tulku, you go first, or?
Oh, maybe you, Rinpoche, first.
Okay. Okay, so the awareness of dream, I think there's many thousands instructions many people can tell you, but in my point of view, the main important is if you is about a dream, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So is when you awaken, or whether you thinking I'm dreaming, you imagine I'm dreaming, like that way. If you go, if you can focus that way, you can be mindful of that. Then that's one thing. And then before you go sleep, you have strong conviction and very determination. I'm going to, realize my dream. And that way, these 2 different mindsets, if you set up very well, and then you will recognize your dream. So if you recognize your dream is not something small, that helps a lot when we are under Pardo. It is not real. Just like dream. So that's why you're not going to scared. This brings all benefits. So to close on, maybe have some specific or whatever answer.
Okay, thank you, Rinpoche. Yes, is a dream yoga is very interesting, because what I want to say, we have a small dream, we have a big dream, let's say. Now is the big dream, we are in the big dream. When we have a small dream, big dream. This is also dream. We are already in the dream, And the lucid dream is, first you need to have a lucid dream, and then you need to, not enough, just first you need to have a lucid dream, then you need the stability of the have a lucid dream, then third you need extreme conditions training, is still you don't lose your lucid dream, But to have a lucid dream is exactly what Rinpoche say is most important. When early morning you wake up, immediately you think you are dreaming. When you wake up early morning, you think dreaming. The whole day you try to think you're dreaming. Oh, I'm dreaming. Oh, this is a dream. I'm just whole day. This is very, very, very powerful. And then before you sleep, is possible you make 21 time vase holding the breath, and then 21 you chanting, or maybe no need it, 21 time holding the vase, the breath, and to vase holding the breath, and then 21 time make strong strong motivation or strong decision, you say, 21 times you say, tonight, I really want to make lucid dream, you say very strongly, 21 times repeat in your mind, and this help you have to maybe lucid dream, Yeah, that's what I like to say, yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Tulku Lobsang, and we are very, very enjoyed today your talk, and I'm sure everybody enjoyed. So how we can do this again more?
Okay. First of all, thank you very much, Rinpoche, Khentrul Rinpoche. I have this opportunity, and I want to say thank you very much, all of your organization, I have this opportunity. And secondly, I want to say thank you all of the students, your students, whoever joined there. And I'm always used to tell these people is the way of my talk, way of my teaching is there. I'm sure they have many mistakes. If they have any mistakes, please compassion me. And thank you, I have this opportunity.
Yeah.
And thank you much again.
Thank you very much, Tulku La and Rinpoche La. We so much appreciate today's talk. Thank you so much. For all of the people asking for further information on courses, teachings, how to access everything from Tulku La to Rinpoche La, we will email out some links to you with all of that information. But yes, again, on behalf of everyone, thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate it so much.
And we'll just thank you both, and we'll remind everyone that in 1 month we have the next talk in this series. It is a talk on the importance of Kalachakra astrology from a Vedic astrologer who also does Kalachakra astrology, Jose. So that information is on the website, and that's part of learning how to holistically see all aspects of Kalachakra. So we'll see you next month for that talk, and thank you both.
Thank you, everyone, to join.
Bye.